Welcome back, and today I have a new lens. I've got the Tamron 17-28 f2.8, and it also says DI3RXD, where the RXD stands for Rapid Extra Silent Stepping Drive. So the question is this any good for video? Will I keep it or will I return it? Let's start off by unboxing this lens so we can see what we have inside the box. Paper and lens. How do we get into this wrap? Here it is. Here we have, I definitely feel a difference between this one and my old best friend, the 28-75 Tamron, because those little things are a little bit bigger than it is on my 28-75. So you're getting a little bit better grip. It's pretty light. 420 grams or 0.92 pounds. The filter thread is 67 millimeters, which is the same as the Tamron 28-75. So I can use the same filters, and that is great. You can take off this lens cap if you want to. That's pure plastic as always. Well, it looks almost the same. It's a little bit shorter. This is the 28-75 and this is the 17-28. So what I'm missing with this 28-75 is that, for example, when you're vlogging, you have to have your hand like this to get some distance to your face. With this one, I hope that that's gonna solve that issue. And the same when you are in a pretty small space like this one, I would like to get a little bit more distance so the room looks even bigger. I'm gonna switch this out later so you can see the difference when I put this on. So what you have here, you have 0 switches, you have no buttons, no nothing. So the only thing you have is the zoom ring, and it doesn't extend at all. So that is not as it is on the 28-75. So these 17-28, everything is internal. That makes it super easy if you put it on a gimbal, because you don't need to rebalance it. And then you have the focus ring. I'm pretty used to have the focus ring closest to the camera because that is what I have on the 28-75. But other people that are not so used to these ones are maybe a little bit confused, because usually you switch places on this one. So you have the focus ring here and the zoom ring there. But well, that's not an issue for me because this is what I'm used to. On the lens here, it also says RXD. That means it has an autofocus motor that delivers impressively quick, quiet and smooth focusing performance to suit both still and video applications. Let's pair that one up with my Sony A7S III so we can see how it performs when we are out in the wild. So why should you get this one? I mean, you can get the native Sony lens, the 16-35mm, for about $2,200. And well, this is $899. But from time to time, Tamron has this cashback promotion. That means that you can get it even cheaper. And I actually got this one for about $790. So compare that one to $2,200 and you can see why you should maybe get this one. And on top of that, it pairs very well with these 28-75, because then you have a 17-28 and 28-75. So you're getting 17-75mm as a crazy good pair. And have the f2.8 all the way through is really good. It would be nice if it was from 14-28 though. Like for example the Sigma 14-24 2.8, but that Sigma is about $1,400 compared to $800. From my experience with this 28-75, this is a super versatile and super sharp lens. That is, I mean, this is what I go to all the time almost. The build quality is maybe not the same as you get for a $3,000 lens, but well, I can buy a new one if it breaks in 10 years, and I don't think it will. So why do I feel that I need a wider lens than the 28mm that I get on the other Tamron? Well, there are different reasons. For example, when you're vlogging or you have the camera handheld and filming yourself, with the 28mm, as I said, you need to stand like this to be able to frame yourself properly. Let's go outside and try how it is with this one when you're going down to 17mm instead. But just make sure you're not getting the camera too close, because it's gonna create a really weird looking face and you probably don't want to have that. Another reason is that if you shoot handheld, that I do a lot, the shot is getting a lot smoother when you have a wider lens and shorter focal length. And we're going to compare that as well with a 28mm when I shoot handheld, but let's do that outside. Another reason is that if you shoot and film interior, for example, properties or real estate, you would like to have a wider lens to be able to capture the room better. So when we go outside, I'm also going to measure the near distance, how close you can be to an object to getting it sharp. And I'm actually going to measure from the end of this lens to the object instead of from the sensor of the camera. Because when I shoot, I usually would like to know, okay, how far away from the lens do I want to be or can be to get this sharp? This is what 17mm looks like compared to the previous one that was 28. Okay, so now we're going to start off with this 28 to 75mm lens, and for the sake of this test I'm going to use the internal microphone on this Sony A7S III, so you can hear the difference when I'm forced to have the camera this far away from my face compared to when I have it closer. So I have the volume or the gain set to 25 on this camera, and I also have an ND filter on, the Peter McKinnon variable ND filter, so I can get the shutter speed correct. So now we're gonna head over to this beautiful place where we have all these beautiful flowers, so you can see how they turn out on these 28mm versus this 17mm. And as you can see on the second camera, my arm is almost straight out and it's getting pretty heavy. So now we are on 17mm instead of 28, and as you can see the entire me. And now I can actually have the camera a lot closer and still get about the same framing. And I believe that the audio is maybe better. It's a little bit windy now, so it's maybe affecting the quality of the audio. And I hope you can see on the second camera that my arm is actually a lot more bent now, so it's a lot more comfortable to vlog with. And if I want to, I can just stretch out, and it looks really, really cool actually. So let's do the sample pictures of these beautiful flowers. And we are on f2.8 for the entire piece of this sample video, so you can see how well the background is blurry, how well things are in focus. You can now see how close I am with the lens, but it still doesn't look too close. Now it's just about 5 centimeters away from the object. Let's see how steady this shot is when I have this handheld compared to when I have shorter focal length. The in-body stabilization is on, it's on active. Now let's see how steady this shot is when I'm doing a ninja walk. It's so much easier to get a steady shot when you have a shorter focal length. Okay, so let's see when we are in focus. Oh my god, that is really close. Let's see how far away we are. We're in focus there. Oh, so that is about 5 centimeters away from the object, or 2 inches. This is really one of my new favorite lenses to the Sony A7S III. If you would like to grab one of these 17 to 28mm Tamron lenses, I'm gonna drop a link in the comment box for your convenience. This wraps up this video. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already. See you in the next video. Over now from Sweden. Bye.